We're in Stafford County. This is
Yes.
a county that Trump won in 2016, but flipped to Biden in 2020. And you're here to talk about the fiscal agenda that we've seen out of this administration, you're going to highlight this millions of dollars to broadband in rural areas like Virginia. Yet when you look at consumer sentiment, recent on Friday, the Michigan survey, when you look at recent polls, inflation remains top of mind for American voters. How do you get them to potentially look at the way you look at how the economy is working?
Well, the cost of living in many areas is very high, and it is a concern to Americans. And it is President Biden's top priority to do all he can to bring down the cost of living. Why I'm here in Stafford County, though, is it really illustrates one way in which that's going to occur. I'm looking at an area that has been deprived, has had really no access to the internet at all, sufficiently remote part of Virginia, and President Biden has made a commitment that every American household and business should have access to the internet. And funds that were included in the American Rescue Plan that was passed in 2021, and then later the bipartisan infrastructure bill provided substantial funding to make sure that the internet is available everywhere, and that it's also affordable. And what we saw during the pandemic is that access to the internet is critical to education, to jobs, to healthcare. And it's really a critical tool that every family needs to have access to. And so making that available and making sure it's affordable, which is what I'm going to be seeing here today, a project that has succeeded in reaching about 700 households in this area. This is one way in which President Biden's working to lower the cost of living. But there are many other areas as well. Prescription drugs brought down the cost of insulin to $35 a month, working very hard to bring down the cost of energy. At the same time, we're protecting the environment and bolstering the finances of households by extending the child tax credit and earned income tax credit.